Hello my beautiful people, welcome to my channel Makeup and Hair Company. Today's video is going to be something that is useful to makeup artists. If there are makeup artists following me, this video is for you guys, and I'm going to talk about bridal contracts. So how contracts are important for your job, and how to, I'm not going to share my entire contract because due to privacy reasons I'm not going to share it, but I'm going to give you guys inputs on how to actually write a bridal contract and what points to include, because legally you're not supposed to advise anyone on writing a bridal contract. So this video is not about that. I'm just going to share my insights on how to write a bridal contract. It could work for you or it could not work for you. So this is not going to be a legal advice or anything. Please do not take it as a legal advice. This video I'm going to share how I improvised my contract and how important a bridal contract is. So the first point that I want to talk about bridal contract is you should have a bridal contract, because that is what is going to save you from so many things, so many hassles, because you are agreeing on the terms and conditions between you and your client, the company and the client. So it is very, very essential to have a bridal contract. So basically what you need is you need a template. So have a template, have a set of points that you want to add to your service, and have a template for yourself. So the first and foremost thing is have a template and prepare a document, a legal document, and make sure that it is attested or verified by a professional who writes contracts. So when you are writing a contract could have traps sometimes. Sometimes let's say that someone is trying to sue you, and if your contract has traps or holes in it, so you might lose the battle. So it's very, very important, and it is important who the contract is between. Sometimes the contract is between the particular artist who works for the company and the client, but I would always advise that the contract is between the company and the client, not the particular artist. Because artist, you hire an artist and they might be a temporary artist or might be a permanent artist, it doesn't matter, but always have the contract between the company and the client. So the third thing that you want to add to your contract is description of services. So make sure that when you are when you are sending the contract to your client, make sure that you describe the services that you both agreed upon, because this is very, very, very important. Because people could change. 99% of the people that you meet will be amazing, but then 1% there are certain types of people who will come back with problems or issues. So to save yourself, you have to have your bridal contracts attested by a professional, so that they fill all these gaps and they rephrase the sentences for you so that you are not in trouble. And the next thing that you have to add in your contract is you have to talk about the way you will handle deposits, whether it is a full non-refundable deposit, or whether it is 50% or 25%, depending upon your type of services and the type of business that you have. So sometimes you will want to have full deposit, and you might have a time frame. So let's say that the event is falling later, after 2 weeks. So before 2 weeks you request them to pay the full deposit. So that's it's up to you. It's totally personalized. So you have to come up with a plan, and you have to make sure that that is very, very clear, because that's where the problem comes. Because when there is money transactions involved, that's where the problem comes. So please make sure that your details are clearly mentioned in the contract. And the next thing that I'm going to talk about is the travel fee. So make sure that the mileage is calculated based upon the distance. Don't forget to calculate the to and from travel distance, because sometimes you just calculate the to but you don't calculate the from. So it's very important to calculate that, and then you agree upon the mileage, and check the states, your particular state or your locations mileage rates, business mileage rates, and then calculate the travel fee based on that. And also do mention in your contract about how you will be handling payments, whether it is check or cash or wire transfer, or it is Venmo, Zelle, or Google Pay, or Paytm, or anything like that. So make sure that you mention your mode of payment clearly on your invoice copy or on your bridal contract. And also mention additional costs. This is the area where the problem actually comes. So sometimes your client might want to fix a wig, or they might want to fix a hair extension. They might want to fix a hair accessory, which is going to be a little bit more of time consuming. So they are called as special additional services. So make sure that you explicitly write everything, because from the history of services that I have done so far, I know what people will want. So for me, it's like I revise my contract every now and then. Whenever there is a potential issue, I make sure that I revise and edit my bridal contract based on the situation. So your contract is not like a one-time thing. You have to keep editing based on the issues that you face. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is cancellation. So how are you going to handle cancellations? Whether you might have cancelled or the client might have cancelled, how is the deposit going to affect the cancellation, and things like that, whether there are any additional costs involved or anything like that. So make sure that you clearly mention your cancellation policy, which is of prime importance, because that is one of the area where problems will come. And the next thing is your service location. So whatever service location a client agrees, let's say that a bride flies me to Atlanta, my service charges will vary because I have to fly to another location, right? So I might have done another 2-3 jobs which would incur more income than flying to that job. So you have to charge your services based on your service location, so which is of prime importance. So mention that category, add that category in your bridal contract as well. And the next thing is the most toughest thing to handle, because sometimes your client might be late. You might be having other appointments. After that particular client, you might be having other appointments. So your client might be late. Of course, bridal events, especially Indian bridal events, it is very, very natural for things to run late. Delays might happen because it involves a lot of people, right? It is totally understandable. But then as artists, we have other jobs too. So in that case, how are you going to handle your delays? Are you going to charge extra, or are you going to cancel the appointment or anything like that? So please mention that, because that is also one of the area where problems might occur. And the next thing that I'm going to talk about is your social media. We as artists, we do not have any permission to just blindly post a client's picture on our social media. So please seek permission. It is very disrespectful if you don't ask permission. So when you sign the contract, sometimes you don't have to ask them. When they sign the contract, they would have probably read every step. So if they don't want it, they will mention it to you, and then you don't post their pictures on social media. So this should also be there in your contract, because this is also someone's privacy, right? So you try to establish that relationship with your client. And the last point that I'm going to talk about is one of the most important points, because I have had one bad experience in my past. So after that, I just spoke to my contract professional, and he advised me to add this clause, which is called as right to refuse service. So we as artists, we are doing this job to treat our customers like kings and queens, right? We do our best to make them comfortable, make them beautiful, and we go out and beyond, and we go above and beyond and make sure that they are comfortable, right? But sometimes some people could be mean to you, so they might hurt you, they might hurt your feelings or ego or anything like that. So if you are not comfortable doing the job, you have the rights to exit that particular premises without even completing your service. It is not at all illegal, it is legal. I just spoke to my professional, and he asked me to add this clause into my contract. This is to secure yourself, because you need to have a peace of mind. You are a professional, you need to be treated correctly. So this is very, very important in your contract. So do not underestimate yourself. You are not a doormat to anyone. So please add these clauses into your contract. So that's it guys for today's video. These are the points that I wanted to share for my bridal contract. So if you are a makeup artist who is looking to write a bridal contract or looking to edit your bridal contract, please take these notes and make sure that you have all these in place, because it is, I'm telling you, it's going to save you a lot of peace. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys in another video.